Wrestling is not just an action, it is a sport. It's actually ballet with action. Hello and welcome to Rashi Foundation. Abhishek Aneja, fondly known as AbbyManiac, is an artist, commentator, analyst, and a podcaster. He looks after and works with Wrestle Square LLP. आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है अभिषेक.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, to start with, Abhishek, tell us more about brand Abhishek Aneja, AbbyManiac, and you as a podcaster, commentator, artist.
I've been working in the sports entertainment industry for the past 6 years. I've been working with Wrestle Square as you said, an artist, as a on-screen talent, as a commentator, and as a on-screen talent, and as a creative consultant. So basically, as a commentator, I give voice to the wrestling action. It basically right now airs on YouTube, and as an on-screen talent, I am basically playing the role of a evil authority figure as AbbyManiac. It is very nasty, and basically he is an anti-feminist, you can say. So sometimes he crosses the line, and many people say it is very nasty. I get a lot of hate, and sometimes people also ask me that is it your real thoughts that you portray on the screen? But that is what the magic is. Basically, I say that, and I try to portray that it is real. In the 80s and 90s, basically it was the magic of professional wrestling, that it is real or it is not. Many people say still that is WWE, WWF real or is it fake? So I try to portray that is it real or is it fake? I keep the line that is it real or is it fake? So I portray that is it very difficult for the people, for the audience, that is it real or is it fake? I try to keep that question in their minds, basically. And as a creative consultant, I work with the students or the wrestlers, basically with the storylines and with their matches and the character that they portray on the screen. I love professional wrestling. I have that passion. So I love that part of the job, you can say. Yes. And with Slamhub Wrestling, it is another thing. As a podcaster, I work with that brand as a podcaster. I with the founder, we review all Elite Wrestling weekly TV shows. They air Dynamite, Rampage shows. All Elite Wrestling is the second biggest wrestling programming right now behind WWE. So we review their weekly shows right now, and it airs worldwide right now. And lastly, I work with Wrestle Fanant. It is also a brand, and I work with them as a creative consultant. It is there is a pub in Noida. They had a show, and you can say that they work with Impact Wrestling. It is one of the biggest wrestling companies. The Wrestle Square was also a part of that show, and if the fans, if you would have been there, if you had the fans there, if you would have interviewed one of the fans, if you would have interviewed one of the people there, you would have been blown away. Seriously.
This is super exciting. Honestly, we've never done a show like this before, getting someone who can speak about wrestling. And this is super, super fun. Okay, Abhishek, what exactly inspired you to work in the sports entertainment industry? Also, tell us about your, your younger age, your schooling.
I studied in the stream of commerce in school, in high school, and I graduated with fairly good marks. And I was, you can say, quote unquote, destined to become a CA. But, things happened in 2016. My father passed away, and things did a 180 shift for me. And doing what my heart says, basically. So I chose the sports entertainment path, the professional wrestling path. So I chose professional wrestling, and basically I chose professional wrestling, and basically then I continued in my path of professional wrestling. The thing that inspired me the most was CM Punk. I saw a promo, a interview in 2011. He sat on the entrance ramp in 2011 in the stadium of Las Vegas, Nevada, in the primetime show of WWE. So I saw him cutting a quote unquote promo or interview. So it happened, and I came back to professional wrestling. I was watching professional wrestling since the age of 5, but I came back to professional wrestling, chosen the path of professional wrestling, and it has now been professional wrestling.
Okay, Abhishek, tell us that how the Indian Kabaddi and the professional wrestling is different, and what are your insights on that? Let's hear.
Kabaddi and professional wrestling are both, different in the way that basically Kabaddi is categorized as a sport, and right now professional wrestling, or quote unquote sports entertainment, has been categorized as entertainment now. Previously it was categorized as a sport, but afterwards it was categorized as a entertainment, because it was some aspects were questioned with because of taxation, and many aspects were questioned with as the biggest company at the time, which was WWE, WWF, and the founder Vince McMahon was questioned with by the taxation and the legal authorities at the time in United States of America. So a lot of controversy happened, and there were also the steroid scandals and many things that happened worldwide, and many news authorities also came with, and there were many controversies which put a question mark on the legalities, and basically professional wrestling became it put a big question mark basically on the sport.
And this is absolutely wonderful, and so much of knowledge about wrestling. This is amazing. This shows that the subject is so deep with you. Okay, Abhishek, what are the other services you're offering apart from being a commentator at the wrestling ground? Let's hear that.
Right now, apart from being a commentator and me offering my services as a commentator analyst, and I offer my services as a podcaster, as a producer, and on-screen talent, and as a coach or mentor. That is what I'm offering right now.
And we do wish that you get a lot of work after this show. Okay, so see, there are a lot of mentors, coaches, commentators out in the market. So what are the USPs? Why will people come to you? Let's hear.
You can say that it is the way that I talk. Many people say that it is the way that my USP can be that it is the way that I dress sometimes. You can see basically, but my career requires me, and it should be the way that I talk. So I would say that if some some odd individual asks me that you ask the question basically, so I would say that it should be the way that I talk. If I've been working in this industry for the past 6 years, and it it took time to basically develop. When I started as a commentator in Wrestle Square, it took time. Basically, I was jotting down the notes and learning about the wrestlers. It took time. It took a lot of time to there are things like voice modulation and learning about the wrestlers and learning about the top commentators in the industry, whether it is Joey Styles or Jim Ross. I'm talking about wrestling, professional wrestling, basically, whether it is Jerry Lawler, whether it is Mauro Ronaldo, whether it is anyone else. Right now there is Corey Graves. There are many other Pat there is Pat McAfee. There are many others. I had to study professional wrestling also. My basically my passion for professional wrestling had to be so huge that I had to study. And right now, I study wrestling, and now it is very, you can say, quote unquote, easy, that I sometimes do not have to make notes. Previously I had to make notes constantly when I had to, do commentary for wrestling. Right now, I sometimes do not have to make notes. It has become, a part of my living. So now I have to, watch the match, and it, it does come out. It is like a spiritual channeling. It comes out because I have studied this sport since 2011, I just said, and I have been watching this sport or entertainment since the age of 5 years, when I watched since the Attitude Era. And it you can say that it was destined in a way, but I am looking forward that what is my next step in.
So guess it's his in-depth knowledge of the subject that is basically his USP. And that is what Abhishek is trying to tell us. Okay, so Abhishek, there are many people who would be following your footsteps, What is one advice you would like to give away to them?
I would like to say that if there is someone out there who wants to follow my footsteps, that who wants to become a commentator in the sports entertainment industry, whether it is professional wrestling or any other sport entertainment, the mantra of acting on your highest excitement, that is the basic thing that you have to do. It is a creative path that you have to do. It is very difficult in our society that there are various energies around you that is who are saying that you have to follow the path of practicality, that and of security, that basically is that do a 9 to 5 job and have a fixed secured income. That is basically it. And no, it is not wrong to have a practical, path. If your heart and your soul and your intuition is saying to follow that path, please do that. That is what is required. The money will follow. That is not, a problem. Basic funda right now is you have to follow with a basically a clear mindset that you have to follow this path. There would be many obstacles in this path, that many things would come in between in this path, that it would say that no, you have done something wrong, and no, you had to follow this practical path, you had to follow the secured path of money, which was basically it, that you would have been sitting in your at your home with a 9 to 5 job, with a secured family, a husband and wife, whatever, with a secured money, your mother and father would have been happy and everything. But if your intuition, your inner soul is saying that no, you had to follow this creative path, then please do that. You would be very happy in the long run. You have to have a vision of, let's say, 5 years or 10 years. You would be very happy, in my opinion. There are many people right now, and even if you go 5 years or 10 years back, even 15 years, who are in the 9 to 5 rat race, but there aren't probably right now people who are following the creative path. So you have a very, you can say, big advantage. So please do that. In the coming future, there would be many people who would be following the path, the creative path, because the world is changing. And in the future, many things would be changing. Digitization, one world currency, many things would be coming. So right now, the creative path is the way to go. So that is basically it. Follow your highest excitement. That is basically it. You would be very happy in the long run, in the future.
And that is totally true what he's saying, that if you follow your passion, money comes automatically. This is totally wonderful. So he's the man out there who is leading the wrestling industry in India, and he's talking. Imagine at that young age, he's a wonderful commentator in the wrestling industry, and this is totally wonderful. We wish him all the luck. In case you're looking out for his services as a commentator, podcaster, as a mentor, especially for the sports industry, reach out to him. His details are available on the video and in the feed as well. Abhishek, आपका बहुत बहुत थैंक्स है कि आप आए.